I had a goddamn amazing experience seeing the second movie of Fairy Tail Dragon Cry. Now, I've got so much to say about this movie. Jesus Christ, seeing this in cinema and all that. We've been waiting for years just to finally find out what is this movie about, some of the stuff that's going on, and some huge bombshells as well at the end of this movie. Now, I'm going to say as well that this movie review is going to contain spoilers. I'm going to go into more further detail in separate videos about certain things in the movie, but I want to give a general review and why you should definitely watch this and all that, and to make sure and all that, because I ended up taking notes throughout the movie and all that. Like, I was ended up like shooting the shit with some friends, and I see some people that was up there and all that who were Fairy Tail fans, and some other ones as well that wasn't a big fan of Fairy Tail, and we ended up shooting shit throughout the movie. So I got a couple of notes on there, so I do apologize if some of these are fucking terrible. I have to honestly like remember all it since I wanted to watch. I didn't want to like take notes during the movie because I wanted to enjoy it as a Fairy Tail fan. But let's go and talk about some of the stuff on there. And I feel like the most important thing is this movie canon to the Fairy Tail series? And I'm happy to say, at the end of the movie is the confirmation, and if people know exactly what scene I'm talking about, you know what the hell that means. Where it's like, yes, this movie is canon to the series, and it seems to be taking place before Alvarez, but it is seemingly after Avatar through some of the hints and stuff that we were getting throughout the movie. So I would say that this is either A, completely wiping out the Alvarez, like from the whole setup for that. It's pretty much wiping all that setup stuff. And a lot of, as well, maybe they might try and get rid of the Avatar arc from this, but how they were going through the movie, right, it seemed like this is seemingly canon, and we do get to see a lot of characters doing techniques that they get to see future on in the series and all that, especially with, like, kind of Grey doing his Ice Demon Slayer powers and stuff, and, you know, a lot of style with, like, Natsu and a bunch of the other gang. Now, the whole movie's premise, though, is a lot different from the first Fairy Tail movie, where the first one, they were out, and they ended up fighting about a Phoenix Princess. This all takes place about a traitor who betrayed Fiore and ended up taking a secret artifact known as the Dragon Cry Staff, which this thing harnesses like all the souls of dragons, and you feel like the emotions coming out of them, like it's like anger, resentment, hatred, and this was something that I think he did to quell their souls, like hence as well why the Grand Magic Tournament to begin with. So I was like, oh, okay, like actually getting some little stuff in depth for the movie, and I thought that was something pretty cool, like in seeing into the movie as well. One thing as well, like especially as well with the main villain throughout the movie. Now there are some twists with him, but like majority of the movie, your main villain is Zash and the King, which I believe his Animinium, I believe like his name is. Zash, for the most part and all that, seems like, oh, he's super evil. You see him immediately, he's like, oh, he's the dickhead. But I will say, if anything, like, for the villains in this movie, and especially the main, well, should I say the true villain of this movie, there's some issues I have with the villain a little bit later on. I definitely enjoy the finale. Everything to do with the villain in the finale is fucking awesome. It is goddamn explosive, visuals everywhere, dragonized nuts. It is fucking crazy. I love that, but I kind of wish there was more time on the characters a lot more, especially with one of the other girls that they were pushing in this movie, which was Sonia, who was like this princess, kind of like, who was like, her secret ability was that I can like see where people are going and everything, and she has a huge big thing as well later on in the movie. I kind of wish she had a little bit more screen time, because a lot of time the first, even maybe in 2/3 of the movie, she is generally there being mainly quiet, and it only is until like right about that second like half and all that she actually generally has a little bit more going on to it, and especially with the finale, she has a big part centered all around about her. And the guild's basic job is to get back Dragon Cry. They get like a mission from the kingdom, and I love the fact that this movie has a lot of fucking comedy into it. There's a lot of hilarious moments. There's a lot of etchiness, which is, I'd say, is one of the, if anything, one of the biggest throw-offs of the movie, where it's like, they throw tits at you, like, just there, you see the sugar. I'm not complaining about a lot of it, but when I ended up talking about with a bunch of the fans as well afterwards, they did say that it was actually kind of distracting at some points, and it was like, okay, we kind of get it. There was even like a transformation scene that Lucy had that was like, let's see all the clothes fly out. Same thing as well with Charlotte when she has her transformation. It looks like a Sailor Moon transformation, and it's like, kind of very distracted from some of the fights that you're having as well. Like, it happens midway from one of the 3 stars, which is like one of like the assassin group, like that's part of them. Through the end, they were alright. They were generally fine. They were around about the same level as like the first movie's villains were. They honestly wasn't expecting too much from them, and like, but actually, like, so the fights that we actually had, everyone got a time to shine, which I really liked about this movie. It's like, it's not Natsu stealing the show, it's everybody. You've got great moments with Gray, Julia as well. Holy shit, Julia has some of the most laugh-out moments in this like entire movie. Like, you even get a bit of Gray action into there. Wendy still holding firm to having some of the best fights in Fairy Tail. She has a really enjoyable fight. Like, I really love her fight with Shala versus the I forget the guy's name and all that. The guy that was like kind of riding around on the surfboard, but he was like had like weird like speed powers and stuff like that. Which I was like, okay, that's something. One of the things as well, though, that this movie tried to do was do a theme. Like, it was trying to do, and I don't mean by music-wise, I mean, like, there was an overall theme, to the movie, and I like to say that the theme of the movie was identity. This was something that was going a little bit at the start of the movie, and one thing I could say about, like, the whole kind of meaning about the whole thing about Dragon Cry and a lot of things with, like, Natsu's identity and, dealing with the fact that he's not fully, like, human. He's not this person that's identity where he's, like, he's part dragon, he's part, like, he's got a bunch of stuff going on with this guy. And a lot of it is kind of Natsu kind of dealing with that, but it isn't handled enough in the material, where I feel like the manga did it a little bit better, but there are some really great moments with Natsu where he kind of grows up, and even some kind of enjoyable moments with Igneel in this movie, where Igneel is heavily mentioned in this movie, which I really enjoyed. And, like, the climatic battle at the end, like, holy shit, that is fucking great. I love every part of that fight. It is epic, it's climatic, shit is happening everywhere. Things are flying, bodies are going, like, there's a lot of stuff going on to it, and the movie looks great, and the one thing that everyone can fucking agree on is the music is 11 on 10. It is superb. They brought back old tracks, new tracks, and each and every single bit of music that they brought in. It's the same, like, composer of what we saw from the original stuff of, like, Season 2. I believe, like, some of the Season 1 music was in there as well. But holy shit, like, that was amazing. My ears were orgasmic hearing all this stuff and all that, hearing the Fairy Tail music, and it was kick-ass. I fucking loved every single tune. There was not even a single one I was like, oh, I don't know, I'm too sure about that. No, when it hit the right notes, it hit it. When you get the emotional music, it's emotional. When you get the hype kick-ass battle theme, you get that. When you get the main theme pumping into it, everyone's fucking going, yeah, 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 let's go. I want more of this. And there's so much to that, and I absolutely love that. And, like, although with a lot of the things that a lot of people were kind of thinking about is whether or not Lucy and Natsu are going to be really addressed in this movie, and it's more than heavily implied, like, kind of like relationship going on throughout the entire movie. Like, there's more obviously going on between them, but sadly it doesn't progress to the degree that a lot of people kind of wanted. There was a fake, like, spoiler picture going out with the two, and it fucking sucks that that's kind of one of the things. So at least we hope that's going to be addressed in the manga. So I'm sorry for the people that really wanted to see a really great scene and all that between Natsu and Lucy. There's a really great moment at the end of the movie with the two together, but it's not what some of you fans wanted on there. And, like, I feel like a lot of the stuff with the movie, like, especially kind of the finale, I feel like the finale is, like, definitely the strongest part of it. The first half is very comedy-based, and kind of like, I kind of like it. And the second half is, like, a lot more getting into, like, let's find out more about the story, let's find out more about the true villain. And there's a bunch of stuff into it, which I do enjoy, but I feel like the other problem with this movie is the pacing. The pacing at some points and all that, when you have the moments where they're on the, like, being turned into prison, and there's, like, that giant bird scene as well. And it's like, I feel like there could have been other moments. There is a moment with a Dragon Slayers, and I mean that, like, in a specific moment, where there's Dragon Slayers mentioned and shown, and that is just like, okay, that's just a quick thing that happened, and I feel like that felt like that should have been more important to the movie, like what they were implying with this stuff. But I was like, okay, let's just keep seeing it, let's just go, 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 let's just keep pushing it in there. So I feel like if they ever did like an extended scenes or something like that, which I doubt it, even as well, I think it's kind of sad to admit, I don't think this movie did that well. I think it was number 10 on the Thursday week, and it did alright sales, but considering how it is, a lot of these anime movies normally consider whether or not there's an interest in there, and although from where I'm seeing all the gauges and all that, it didn't flop like the Toriko movie, but it also as well doesn't seem like it was doing bombastic numbers in Japan. I don't know about the results here in like the UK and like the US and all that, whether or not that's going to be doing really well. I hope it does and all that, because I really did enjoy it. And from what I got for like pretty much the majority of the audience, when I kind of asked a couple of people afterwards and all that, they seemed like they really enjoyed the movie, and a lot of people are going to go back and rewatch it, and that's great. I'm kind of glad that people got out there, but it wasn't this thing where I was like, oh my god, you need to see it right now. Unless you're like a die-hard Fairy Tail fan, this is something where I'd say, you need to see this right now. It's really goddamn enjoyable. It's some of the favorite like Fairy Tail content that's out there. It's a really goddamn fun movie, and I think it's on par. I even say slightly even better than like the Phoenix Princess movie and all that. I will say that the kind of ending theme, like kind of main theme that they had, wasn't as good as like the main theme that they had for Fairy Tail. And I feel like a lot of people like this looks more like original anime style, like Fairy Tail animation, while like the first movie was going for a very huge different art direction on there. So I feel like some people might be turned on that. I honestly really enjoyed it. It was fluent, action, just fantastic. Mwah, I just love it. Now, the thing is now, to talk about, like, overall, I'd say watch the movie. Now, I'm going to talk a little bit about the end scene credits and all that. Like, so if you don't want to know about that, then you practically got most of the movie and all that. I'd still say recommend it, even if you're a slight fan of Fairy Tail. Maybe this might get you interested in seeing some of the other material, but goddamn, it's fucking great and all that, where it goes and all that. So, the ending credits, though, is where things really hit the fucking fan, because there is stuff involving Acnologia and Zereth in this movie, and there's a big thing with, like, from what we got to see in there, with Acnologia and seemingly his reason, or more the motivation why exactly his whole goal of destroying the dragons is, which is, like, I hope there's more context in this in the manga. If not, I'm going to be a little bit slightly disappointed. That's all his reason is, but I could kind of understand it in a way why this is why he's doing this. But I feel like the fact that he's so fucking crazy wanted a little bit more than something more about that. I said, like, I'm just fucking insane. And Zereth as well has like a very important end scene credit as well. And there are characters in that shot I wasn't expecting, and I was like, oh, they're just gonna show those guys. Okay. So, there's a lot of things said in the movie, and it's heavily, heavily implied that they want to do more. Whether or not they're going to be doing another season of the anime, or whether or not they might try movies, we don't know what they're going to be doing and all that. But it's very heavily implied by the ending that they want to do more Fairy Tail content, and definitely they want to go, you see Season 1, you see Season 2, you watch Dragon Cry right there and all that, and that is where then you begin the final season. The question is not that where it's going to be going on. I feel like kind of it was slightly misleading with the trailers and all that, where they're saying this is the final chapter, this is the last part of Fairy Tail, and it's like it's clearly not with how literally the end of scene credits and how it was going and all that. This is clearly not the end and all that, how they're going for it. It's clearly A, read the manga, see the final arc, or B, let's see if we can get some interest in another season, or maybe some movies to finish off the Alvarez arc. That could be where it is, but we'll have to wait and see. Overall, I fucking enjoyed this movie so much. I'm like generally looking on there, like the crowd was great. I absolutely loved the crowd and all that. A lot of us were talking about just other shows as well. It was fantastic. I'm generally trying to think if there's anything else on that I like haven't really talked about in the movie. Like generally the fact that like a lot about like, you know, the Dragon Eyes transformation. I fucking love that design a lot and all that. I wish it was more in the movie. I really wish it was a little bit longer in the movie, but it's really not until the very end and all that you don't get to see Dragon Eyes, and I was waiting the entire movie for it to be hinted, or to at least show a little bit of showing here and there, and it wasn't until there. If anything, I'd say like the weakest parts of the movie are definitely a lot of a forced fan service in there. Definitely really heavily pushing it a lot too much. Even a lot of the die-hard Fairy Tail fans were like, this is a bit too much on there. But definitely I feel like the comedy was fucking fantastic in this movie. Absolutely enjoyed the action. Or I feel like the main villain, and also as well like characters like Sonya and a few other characters that, like Zack, I feel like they could have used a little bit more time and all that to develop, since like I felt like Zack was just like, grr, I'm evil, and I feel like the Animus guy, like stuff like that, and like even as well with like Sonya being like the new character, and you got good reasons to kind of care about her. I feel like if they had more and more time, although the ending scenes get a little bit more context, and I kind of wish that was there like at the start of the movie, because I know a lot of people walked out before they saw that scene. So overall and all that, I think if we're going by Fairy Tail Girls, Claire I prefer than Sonya, but I do think Dragon Cry is the better movie. That is how I personally feel and all that. That could change and all that. I will have to rewatch the movie, but there's other things I want to discuss about and all that, but I'm going to leave it there for today. People, let me know if you have seen the movie, what do you think? And if you want me to go into a full, like, more spoiler version of this and all that, because I try to dance around some of the things that they talked about in there. So if you want me to do a spoiler review, then I can heavily do that as well and all that, because I'm trying my best and all that to not give so much away about this movie. But definitely, if you are a Fairy Tail fan, it's a must see. If you're not the biggest fan of Fairy Tail, I don't think this is going to be the one that pushes you saying I need to see this. But the biggest problems that you'll have with the series is still going to be there. But it does amend itself by having some fantastic fight scenes here and there, some really, really enjoyable comedy, and just overall and all that, I think there are some really memorable moments in this movie, and I really hope it does well, if anything. It doesn't seem like it's going to be this big push now to get another season of Fairy Tail, but we can only hope and see and all that where it's going. Like, hopefully I eat my fucking words on that. I really do and all that, but it's all for me. Thank you as always for watching. Thank you so much and all that. I had such a blast watching this movie. It kind of meant a lot to finally watch this and all that, so yeah, that is all from me. Thank you very much for watching as always, and I'll see you guys though next time.